Hello everyone, welcome back to the series of lectures based on Tekla software. So we in our previous videos we discussed about the different basic commands which are used for modeling of a structures. Now in today's video we are going to model an industrial sheds type of structure. Normally we are completing this structure in three different parts. In part 1 we are first modeling the structure. In part 2 we are creating the single part and assembly drawings of that structure, and in part 3 we are creating the GA drawings for that structures. So let's start with that. So initially I have opened one new project over here. So by default this grid is available over here. Now I will just change the coordinates of this grid. So I'm today whatever the truss I'm modeling, that will be, let's say in x direction it's a 3 span, so 0 at a distance of 5000 and then 5000. Then in one direction there is only one span, distance of 8000. Then in z direction it is having two levels, that is column height of 3500, and then further there is a rise of 1500 mm, so that means 5000. Okay, and I will just modify the structure. Okay, now you can see the grid is get created over here. So first of all I will create all the views along these grid lines. So either you can go in the view, from new view you can create the views along grid lines, or else directly you can just right click over here and you can see create view along the grid lines. Okay, create view. So all the views are got created over here. So I will just open one view, that is along the grid A. Okay, so here you can see that height of 3000 and then for 1500 above that it is written. So we'll just change the label of here, modify. Okay, now let's model the column. So go to the steel, take a column and put the column over here. Then I will just double click on this column and change the properties of this section. Like I am taking the section of ISMB 350 and OK. Let's say modify over here. Then taking the positions at 0 over here and 1 over here. Okay, then next the height of column, let's say our height is 3500, so height of column is 3500 and from bottom it is at the 0 level, and modify. Okay, so now you can see that the column is get modeled at a height of 3500. The same you can just check in the this view also, right? Now I complete the properties of this column. Then I will just copy this column from the center point and pick to the chord positions. You can copy it either by copy, or you can also use the copy linear spatial. Okay, so all the columns are get modeled over here. Then next we are going to model the beam over here. So for that I will take the beam, then I will mark the beam from this end point to the midpoint of this above, right? Again double click on this. I will just change the properties of this beam, ISMB 300. Can keep the same section, or you can get that required size of section. Then again I will start here from 0. Okay, modify. So same way again I will mark another beam from this point to midpoint of this section. like this. Okay, you can see over here also. Okay, now next we are applying the connection of base plate over here for this column. So for that you can go over here in the base plate. Okay, so in base plate different components are available. Whatever we need, that you can provide over here. Okay, so I will just take a section of base plate 1042. Okay, I will take this section. So select that base plate, select the main part and pick the position. You can see the base plate is get applied over here. Okay, just to edit the properties of this base plate, just double click on this base plate over here. Okay, and then you can just change the required properties of this. So for this, first of all, parallel, you can see the changes over here. We are going to check the size of the base plate. So the section is ISMB 350. So on this side 50 and on this side 50. Similarly on this side 50 and on this side 50. So width of this base plate I will take it as a 2000, sorry, or else we can take, just change the section also. Okay, we'll just undo this, and this is one more type of base plate over here. This we provide over here. Okay, so which is, now double click on this section. You can change the properties of that base plate. So I will just double click on this. Let's just get load. Then write down over here picture. This is the size of the base plate. Okay, then can go over here to check the parts. So here the thickness of the base plate, let's take, I will take a thickness of 15 mm. Okay, just modify that. Then go to the next section, that is nothing but anchor rods. So I will provide the base plate with the anchor rods. Okay, so you can see the anchor rods are get provided over here. Then the shape of the anchor rod, let's take this shape. Okay, and here you can mark that distance over here. Even here I will provide the grout of, let's say 50 mm thickness. So you can see this type of cement grout is get added over here. Then here along with this, just can see, you can provide the bolts of 20 mm size, 8.8 XOX. Okay, just say modify this. Okay, now here I will add this plate washer. Okay, and nut profile. So I will add the nut over here. So as we provided the bolt of 20, so with respect to that same size, can add this nut over here. Okay, just modify that. You can see that nut is get added over here. Okay, then next we just provide the thickness of that rod. Just you can take a rod sections of diameter say 20 mm. Okay, okay, now as per the requirement you can make the necessary changes in this base plate profile. Okay, and once it get done, okay, then you just have to modify and apply. So I will just select this one. If you need any kind of extra washer plates and all, that you can add through here. Plates, even you can make certain, if you there are more number of bolts, so you can add the distances of bolts over here. Okay, right. Now once we complete this, just you have to click on apply and okay. Now all these settings are get save over here. Okay, so now wherever we make the changes, it will be get copied over there. So I will just select that base plate, select main part, pick the position, select main part, pick the position. Same way for remaining columns also. And then pick the position. Okay, now let's connect this over here. So here for this joint we can make a connection of connection number 144, that is nothing but end plate connection. So here I'm just selecting this end plate connection, select the main part and select the secondary part. So now you can see this side the connection is get done over here. Okay, now just double click on this and we can just modify this connection over here. I will just shift this window so that you can see the parallel changes happen over here. Okay, now stiffness, I will make this stiffness as a plate is there. This is the shape of our plate. Okay, now go to the bolts, bolt size of 20 mm, 8.8 XOX. Then here the number of bolts, say 3 bolts having a distance of 70 mm, and on this side 2 bolts are there having a distance of 70 mm, and just modify this. So you can see this section is get modified over here. Similarly plates, whatever our end plate is there, the thickness of that plate I will make it as a 15 mm. Okay, so it should be 10 mm, right? Then after that, the next thing, if you want to add the stiffness like this, that also you can add over here using this. Okay, so I will just add this stiffness. Select this again. So here go to the stiffness. Okay, then next bolt sections that we done, holes, angle box. Okay, so like this, if you want you can make any other type of changes like this, cut and all. Okay, as per your requirement. Once you complete with this, just on apply and okay. Okay, so all these settings are get saved over here. Now here we want to add the plate at the top over here. So for that you can just see that cap plate. Okay, so like this we are covering this by cap plate. Just selecting this and clicking on the main part and pick the position. You just need to click on this end point. Okay, so now you can see this type of plate is get added over here. You can check this. Okay, like this plate is get added over here. That is nothing but the cap plate. Either you can add the cap plate or you can also add the stiffness at that level. So just double clicking on that. Okay, so this window open up. Then we just need to provide that thickness over here, cut to cut. Okay, so I will just select that from end to end and just modify, apply. Okay, so now you can see this is get added over here. You can see this is not provided up to the end part. So I'm just double clicking on the properties and just selecting the view where it is provided end to end. So here if you want you can also add this kind of chamfers at the end. Okay, from this side or from this side, right? These are the weld related details are given. Okay, just selecting that. Modify it. Okay, right? Now once we provide this connection and all, the same we are providing at this side. So taking that cap plate, selecting the main part and picking up the position. Then next we are providing that connection of end plate, that is nothing but 144. Select that, pick the main part, pick the secondary part. Okay, so the connection is get applied over here. Okay, now once you're done with this, you just need to copy this, select, copy and repeat it to the remaining sections. Okay, so I will just undo this because I think this column is also got selected. So we just need to select these beams, copy from this end point to this end point to this end, right? Now you can see all the connections are also get copied. So you just have to click on redraw view. Okay, and Control 4 will give you the complete rendering. Okay, now once you're done with this, our next step of modeling is adding the purlins. So for that addition of purlins, I will just, okay, before that we also need to add the connection at this point of peak. So here at the peak you can apply the connection number 14. Okay, just change it. Connection number 1. So here we are adding the connection of joining the plates, this one. Okay, selecting the main part, selecting the secondary part. So now you can see the connection is get added over here. Okay, again by double clicking you can just edit that connection. Okay, so here you just change the bolts 20.8 XOX, number of bolts 3 with the spacing of 70. Now this spacing and all that you have to take with respect to the your design. Okay, you can see, so this will be get added over here. Even you want, you can just increase the height of this section also along with these joining plates you can also provide the connection of apex hunch, like here. If you put over here the connection of apex hunch, okay, or I will just put the hunch. Okay, so here in this there are connections of apex hunch and eaves hunch. So these two connections also you can provide in the truss. The eaves hunch connection is applicable for the end column and beam, and apex hunch is applicable at this top section. So as per the requirement and as per the sizes of members and all, you can provide these connections over here. Okay, or even you can go like this fit hunch also. Okay, all these hunch connections are specially provided at the truss. Okay, now the same, this 40 number connection I will just provide it to remaining. Okay, just select the main part and secondary part. Okay, so the connections are get applied. Now our next part is addition of purlins. So for addition of purlins I will just add certain reference points over here. So for that purpose you just need to go to the addition of points. In points I am selecting the option of at any position. So I will add the one point over here and one point at this. Okay, now I will just move this point. Move spatial, just select this point and move spatial linear by means of, let's say, 100 mm. Okay, now for this either you need to change the work plane, because here our x direction is this side. So instead of that I will just interrupt this, just select that point and move the point from this, let's say, at a distance of 100 mm. Okay, just select over here the intersection. Okay, so here you can put the distance of 100. Okay, so now you can see the point is get shifted by 100 mm over here. Similarly, this another point, I'm just selecting this and move from here, intersection again by 100 mm. Okay, so now in between these two points I am adding few more points. So on line, so I just need to add 3 number of points from the position this point to this point. Okay, apply. Just undo this, apply. Online, these points to this point. Okay, so you can see 3 number of points are get created over. Okay, now I will just select all these points by pressing the control. Okay, okay, so I just selected all those points and I will copy it special mirror. Okay, on another side of the plane. Go. Right, so now you can see these are get copied on this side also. Okay, now we are going to add the purlins. So for that, select the beam over here. Okay, now the properties, select the beam and I'm adding one beam over here. Now I will just change the properties of this beam to the, either you can provide the C section or you can provide the Z purlin section. Okay, so here you can see Z section is there, or you can provide the C profiles also. Okay, you can provide the Z sections also. So I will just select this C profiles, IJC, apply. Okay, that was not get selected. Okay, and modify. So now you can see this will be get turned to C section, and here in this you can see that purlin over here. Now I need to move this purlin from this plane to this plane. So here you just need to select this purlin and then go to the copy spatial to another plane. So for that, select the bottom point, then select the axis point and then to the another side. Okay, then go to the destination plane. So my destination plane is again over here. Just you have to remember, whatever the direction you have selected at the bottom side, the same you have to select over here for the destination plane also. Okay, and now you can see that section is get moved over here. Let me just show you. Just make it red. Just a minute. In that redraw view command, just lost those points which are created over here. Okay, so I just again need to go for that. Move. one from this point give intersection and the distance of 100 mm. Okay, then in edit just need to online between this point to this point. 3 points are got created. Okay, now go to adding the beam. So here I am adding the beam. So by default whatever the properties we have taken last time, those are available over here. Okay, just we need to move this beam. So go to the copy spatial to another plane, select over here the bottom side, then this x direction, and then in the opposite direction. Okay, once you complete this, go to the destination plane, pick the point wherever you are taking this, then x direction, and then taking the okay. So now you can see that section is get shifted over here. Okay, once this will be there, just need to copy this from this bottom point to our reference points. Okay. So we'll just escape this, selecting the section, copy from this point to the reference points, and then here one more over here. Okay, once you're done with this, now I will just select this all purlins. See, whenever we are dividing it equally into 3 points, 5 points, you can see the horizontal distances between all these are remains same. So I will just copy this mirror with respect to this center plane. Just clicking on that point. Just selecting all the purlins, right click, copy spatial, mirror, and now selecting the center point. Okay, and then copy. You can see all these are get mirrored over here, right? You can see in this way, 3D view. Right, now the next thing we have to go for applying the connection for this purlins. So for this, just go to the application and components. So here you need to provide the connection number 1. Okay, so if you select over here 1, you can see in search results there are connections of purlin are available. Okay, I will just show you purlin 1. Okay, here you can see purlin 1 to 61, right? Means if 2 purlins are joining, this is the connection which is given over here. The same way for single purlin also the connection is available over here. Okay, you just need to check this. Okay, selecting this connection over here, pick the main part, pick the secondary part. You just select this connection, pick the main part, pick the secondary part, and then middle mouse button. So now you can see this connection is there. Okay, but just you need to go to check this. You can see this connection is not properly applied. So I will just undo this, and I will just write over here Purlin. Okay, so here you can see the connections of Purlin are given. So here connection number 11 is there. Okay, so selecting this connection, then selecting the main part and selecting the secondary part and then middle mouse button. Okay, you can see now the connection is get applied over here, but this connection is applied in this direction, so you just need to double click over here and then you just need to change the direction. Okay, so for that just go to the parts, pictures, and just change the orientation of that section. Okay, this connection is perfectly fitted, so you can just check this by rotating. Yeah. Okay, so like this connection is perfectly fitted over here. So same, you can just pick the main part, secondary part. Now just need to select that main part, secondary part, middle mouse button, main part, secondary part, middle mouse button, then again main part, secondary part, middle mouse button. Okay, similarly here main part, secondary part and middle mouse button. Okay, now here if you want you can give it on another side also. Okay, just you can see, just undo this, and for this side I will take this connection, main part, secondary part and middle mouse button. Okay, then here main part, secondary part, middle mouse part, secondary part, middle mouse, main part, secondary part and middle mouse. But now you can see here, you can see this yellow color mark. Okay, so either you can change this connection settings over here by changing these heights or that distances, or else you can just change these parameters. Okay, so I will just show you. Select this and click on modify. Okay, then just go to this plate distance. So this distance I will just make the changes of 10. Okay, modify. You can see this is out of the range. Okay, that's why it is fixed over here. So here in picture you can just set up that distances also. I will just delete this. Okay, we'll just check this connection number 93. Okay, this is fixing over here. Okay, likewise. Now once we're done with this, again similar we have to just copy these purlins, just control, just you have to select all these purlins. Okay, and then copy from this point to this end point. Okay, so that it is provided throughout the span. So like this, if you see, our whole structure is get modeled. Okay, now in the next part video we just complete the creating the single part drawing for this model. Okay, thank you.